Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an affiliate business for sale in the health and fitness niche. Created in February 2017, this business makes $1,982 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 46095. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thorsten, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, and I'm very excited to discuss this business. But before we dive into the questions that I have, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, it was built in February of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $1,995, expenses of $13 to make for a net profit of $1,982, which is generated on a 4-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain and all-site content and files and social media accounts. Thorsten, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Well, yeah, I've been doing SEO since the year 2000, so I've been in this game for a very, very long time. Building websites, ranking websites is my forte. Today, I mainly run an SEO agency, so I mostly work with clients, but I also have my own site projects, obviously. And so I have my hands in many different projects, and this is one of them that I started, I think, in 2017 or so, and I haven't touched it all that much, but it's been very stable.
You mentioned that, you've been doing SEO work for a long time now. So when you were starting this business, why did you go with the affiliate model?
Well, I originally bought this domain at an auction to turn it into a PBN and link it to one of my clients. But then I realized that it was very powerful and I didn't want to waste it on, just building a PBN out of it. And I thought, I should build an affiliate site on it and just see where this goes. I wanted something that I don't have to touch so much. I wanted to just rank it and basically make revenue automatically. And I like affiliate marketing for that, since I have enough clients to, work with, and I don't want to create more work for myself. So if I build a site, it's typically an affiliate site because it's so hands-off. Yeah, and that's the reason.
Mm-hmm. So why we decided to sell it today?
Well, that's exactly the thing. I have my hands in too many projects, and I've never spent that much time on this. I built the site, I ranked the site, and I never got around to build it out more. And for the past year or so, I always told myself I should add more pages and rank more, but I never got around to doing it. And so I decided that if I don't actually use it, I should sell it to someone who wants to build it out more.
You mentioned that earnings have been pretty stable, and they definitely have if you look at the business historically. But the last couple months, namely December and then February and March, have been a little lower than the prior year. So can you explain that drop in earnings?
Well, I would say, the products that are on the site are getting older. They have been there for quite a long time now. I also think that, January was very, very big. I think that the product owners, they ran a lot of promotions at the beginning of the year and got a lot of people in January. The year before, they actually did that in March and April more, and then over summer, because this business is stronger in summer than it is in winter. But the beginning of the year, it tends to have a big spike. And so I'm guessing that the product owners ran more promotions this year in January and produced a bigger spike. And so those people that were otherwise coming in, in February and March now just came in a month or two earlier. And that's the reason why these months are lower, I think. That's pretty much what I can see in the data.
Mm-hmm. And that absolutely makes sense. So You mentioned that this business is very hands-off for you, but you've got to be doing something. Can you walk me through what it takes to maintain this site?
All I honestly do is update the WordPress version because it's a WordPress site, and the plugins. I don't actually touch it in any other way because I'm not adding any content to it. That's the thing. I don't have time for it. So obviously for whoever buys this website, they most likely want to add more pages, and that would be the only thing. After that, a bit of link building to rank it, and after that, it runs itself. I don't have any writers to constantly write content or anything. This is meant to be a site that it's basically just an asset that sits there. And it's been sitting there very well for 2.5 years. And yeah, I don't think there is a lot of work in this. So I didn't have any work with it. And I think that's a very nice thing. That's why I like affiliate marketing.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, I mean, definitely doesn't take much work to maintain, but are there opportunities to grow it? You mentioned adding new content could be an opportunity for the buyer, but what else would you do to try to grow it?
Well, that's actually the most important point, I think. Like I said, I bought this domain at an auction, and it is very, very powerful. It has backlinks actually has a do-follow backlink from Google itself and many other very powerful websites, because it used to be something official before I owned it. And so I built the site on a domain that has a lot of domain authority. And so that means whatever page you put on it, as long as you do the on-page SEO properly, it should rank very easily. Depending, of course, if you choose your keywords properly and you pick battles you can win. But I think that the ranking potential of the site is the thing that attracted me to this the most. That's why I didn't use it for a PBN, but for an actual site. And I think that, the thing is, I have reviews on it. So whoever buys this website should also add more reviews of different products on that and try to rank those. And I think that's the biggest potential the site has.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
Well, the only risk I could see to a website like that is if it were to drop in Google, or if Google would stop liking it. But it's been sitting on the first page in the search results for 2.5 years, even without me touching it. And that's a very stable situation that doesn't happen all that often. So I am very confident with this website. If I had the time, I would build it out myself and wouldn't worry about it at all. So I don't see a risk. The only risk is really if you got a penalty or something, because, that nothing else could happen to the site, but it is very clean and it has very good links and has very high authority. So I don't really see anything happening to that, except, of course, if the new owner made a mistake and started spamming the site, which I don't think anyone would ever do. So I don't really see a risk at all.
Awesome. And can you explain for anyone else listening what you would do differently, if anything, if you could restart the site from the beginning?
Well, if I were to restart the site, I would probably make a bigger plan, because it's a fairly small website. It doesn't have many pages. I would probably go in and figure out exactly the topic I wanted to put on the site, maybe even multiple topics, and build out a big site with like 100 or 200 pages and rank as many things as I can. Because I think the site, if I had done that, the site would probably be 5 or 6 times more profitable because of the high ranking potential. Instead, I built a site that's really niche and very, very small compared to that in scope. Yeah, I would have built it bigger from the start. That's what I would have changed.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah.
And how much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
As much as is needed. Even a year from now, if you suddenly have ranking problems, I'll be happy to investigate, because after all, I run an SEO agency. I always want to research what goes on. If something would have happened to this site, I would actually like to know what it is. So I'd be happy to, even a year from now, investigate and see what goes on there.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
Yes, I would.
Awesome. Thorsten, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. Before I let you go, my final question. If you were looking at this business from the perspective of a potential buyer, why would you feel like it is an asset worth buying?
I think the biggest asset is that potential because of the high domain authority. I think the domain authority is over 40. And in the domain that is not just that strong, but also that stable, is something that I would very much be interested in. I've looked at the marketplace. I want to myself buy websites with you guys in the future. So it's actually interesting to see this from the perspective of a seller. And I've looked at websites and I know what kind of thought goes into this. And that sort of potential is the thing that I would have liked to know with every business I look at. How strong is this domain really? If it's a strong domain, then there's potential. If it's a weak domain, then I don't know what potential there is. So that's why I think that domain authority is really, for me at least, the most important thing that domain has, as that determines what potential it can have for future pages that I put on it.
Thorsten, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. It's clear to me that this site, I mean, you've barely done anything with it and it's still earning and ranking well. I mean, clearly, if someone comes in here, puts a little effort into adding more content and growing the site a little more, there's ample opportunity to grow the revenue here. Thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jake.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.